I'm Ivy Eldred. I am the Director of Outpatient Services at Community Services Group and have been at CSG for almost 18 years now. And I'm here because I really love what I do. I love seeing individuals change, improve, and I also love not having the same day every day. To explain what psychosis is in simple terms, the defining feature of psychosis is that people lose some contact with reality. So that might mean they're seeing or hearing things that other people can't see. We call those hallucinations, or believing things that aren't actually true. We call those delusions. So at its core, psychosis is a loss of touch with reality. And that's what differentiates it from other mental illnesses. A lot of times people ask what the difference between psychosis and neurosis is. And it's that change in perception of reality that is the main difference. In both psychosis and neurosis, there can be emotional symptoms, but only in psychosis is there that distorted perception. Psychosis can affect anyone. Most commonly, psychosis is observed in young adults from their late teenage years to their mid-20s. Oftentimes, psychosis is associated with a diagnosis like schizophrenia, but it can occur with other mental health conditions like bipolar disorder or severe depression. It can also be triggered by certain medical conditions, substance use, brain injuries, and infections even. A lot of times you'll hear the term early psychosis, and early psychosis refers to the initial phase of psychosis, typically within the first 2 to 3 years of a person experiencing that first psychotic symptom. And that period is characterized by disruptions in their thoughts, their perceptions, and their behaviors, including things like hallucinations or delusions and disorganized thoughts. And early intervention is really crucial because it can significantly improve the longer-term outcomes for those individuals. When we're talking about early psychosis, it can really manifest with a range of subtle or more really noticeable symptoms. Some of the common signs that we look for are things like changes in thinking or changes in perception, such as their thoughts or speech might be really difficult to follow, or their thoughts might seem like they're all jumbled up. They might have really strongly held unusual beliefs or beliefs that just cannot be reality. Or they might be experiencing some unusual behaviors or hallucinations. But there can be more subtle signs, such as social withdrawal or difficulty concentrating, or having a change in their sleep habits or their hygiene habits. Individuals could also report feeling depressed or feeling anxious. Distinguishing between early psychosis and what we'd consider typical stress or a typical mental health challenge can be difficult, but there are several key differences that can help you tell. So early psychosis involves a disconnect from reality. So the person is having hallucinations or experiencing delusions. And stress and anxiety might have intense feelings, or they might be really worried, but they don't have that detachment from reality. If a person is first noticing signs of psychosis, the reaction is the same, whether they're an adult, whether they're, a minor. The most important thing is to reach out for help. Oftentimes, individuals will reach out to their primary care provider first, unless they're already involved with a mental health provider. A person's primary care can really assess the individual and then help them connect with other services. You can also contact your local crisis intervention line. There's a local line in every county in Pennsylvania, or utilize 988, which is the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, to seek assistance. At CSG, we have the EPIC program, which stands for Early Psychosis Intervention and Collaborative. And that program really wraps around an individual and their supports to provide services and support in a really collaborative, team-based way that's actually called coordinated specialty care. So members of the EPIC team have specialized training in working with individuals who are experiencing psychosis. And the component parts of the EPIC team work together to really assist the individual in managing their symptoms to be able to return to whatever normal functioning looks like for them. The EPIC program offers individual therapy, medication management, peer support, supported employment and education, and then we also wrap around and offer family supports. The thing that makes the EPIC program unique is that it's team-based. In traditional mental health treatment, you may have all of the various services like individual therapy, psychiatry, peer support that the EPIC program offers, but the providers that you're seeing aren't typically connecting with each other in a really routine, coordinated way. With EPIC, our team members are meeting at a minimum weekly to ensure that we're collaborating to provide the best support that we can to individuals and their loved ones. And that's really what sets EPIC apart when treating psychosis as opposed to kind of care as usual. I think it's really important to normalize the conversation around mental health in general, because when we normalize the conversation, it empowers people to talk about what they're experiencing and then get the help that they need. Having conversations really reduces the stigma. It increases understanding and awareness of mental health issues, not just psychosis, but also psychosis. And then lets individuals know that it's really okay to reach out and say, I need some help. Communities can really support individuals by increasing their awareness of mental health concerns. Having conversations as a community, increasing inclusion for individuals who are experiencing serious mental health concerns. By making sure that you've got welcoming spaces and welcoming events is really important. Attending something like a mental health first aid training is a great way for community members to increase their awareness of mental health and the signs and symptoms and how to respond to those who are having mental health crises. We're going to be sharing additional videos that focus on some of the most common triggers or factors that can contribute to early psychosis. Be sure to follow along on our social channels or check out our website at csgonline.org/epic for more information and helpful resources.